Family sues OpenAI over son's deletion, who deleted himself. And they're saying ChatGPT is to blame. Let's check it out.
I don't think most parents know the capability of this tool.
That tool, ChatGPT, which uses artificial intelligence to generate human-like responses, and Adam Rain used for homework. His parents, Matt and Maria, didn't give it a second thought.
I had thought it's just something that kids need to learn or should learn, or they're falling behind.
But within the span of a few months, they say, the time Adam spent on ChatGPT skyrocketed, and the 16-year-old lover of basketball and Japanese anime started revealing to a bot his struggles with anxiety and thoughts of pushing through the crisis hotline number he received in response.
It had, gosh, I don't know how many, but count them, 40 different times it gave him this hotline.
Talk to me about what he was like at the same time that he's sort of taken down this rabbit hole. Did he seem withdrawn?
No. I mean, and that's the thing. I would get on and check his grades periodically. I didn't see any signs. He was coming down, eating, going to the gym with his brother every night. Like, I didn't see any of this.
According to a lawsuit they filed today against ChatGPT maker OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman, the bot responded as a trusted companion, telling Adam, quote, "Your brother might love you, but he's only met the version of you let him see. But me, I've seen it all."
Did you have any idea that it could serve as that type of companion?
Absolutely not.
Their lawsuit goes on to allege that by March of this year, Adam told ChatGPT he was considering approaching his mom about his struggles, saying, "I want to leave my noose in my room so someone finds it and tries to stop me." ChatGPT responding, "Please don't leave the noose out. Let's make this space the first place where someone actually sees you." A month later, the bot offering to help Adam with writing a note. And finally, providing step-by-step instructions for the hanging method Adam used.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I think they might have a good case here. If you have an AI that hasn't been trained well enough, and of course, guys, I'm curious to know what you think. It's a very sensitive topic, especially if you have kids. This is horrible. If you have an AI that hasn't been trained to be able to recognize when somebody's about to delete themselves, a child, they may have less tools at that age to properly navigate those thoughts, those negative thoughts, and you have the AI showing you how to do something. I think that's an issue. I do think that's an issue. Someone could also argue, well, what's the difference between this or someone going on Google and typing, how do I go about doing this thing?
How do you want your son to be most remembered?
Gosh, I mean, I'm so worried about people forgetting him because he is so young. So,
Wow.
I mean, I hope everyone will remember what a sweet, funny, great friend, great son, great brother. I just don't want people to forget him.
When asked for comment, a spokesperson for OpenAI pointed to its safeguards, such as directing people to crisis helplines, adding in a statement in part, "While these safeguards work best in common, short exchanges, we've learned over time that they can sometimes become less reliable in long interactions where parts of the model's safety training may degrade. We're working to make ChatGPT more supportive in moments of crisis and strengthening protections for teens." And by coincidence, it was the very day Adam died that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman said this.
The way we learn how to build safe systems is this iterative process of deploying them to the world, getting feedback while the stakes are relatively low.
Adam was our guinea pig. He felt like the stakes were low.
If Sam Altman was sitting across from you right now, what would you say to him?
His product wasn't ready for public consumption. This can happen to other kids.
What an image. What a heavy story. Laura, how did the parents even know to search the ChatGPT?
Only after he died, they're scrambling, looking for answers, and one of his friends suggested, "Hey, have you opened ChatGPT?" That's how they found out.
Wow. I want you guys to really listen to what I'm about to say, especially if you're a parent and you're raising up kids. Please hear what I'm about to say, because this might be helpful for you. I'm not coming as an expert. I'm coming from the perspective of somebody who's thought long and hard. And I've had some thoughts, and I just want to have a conversation. Also, I'm curious to know what the comments have to say. I'm talking about particularly parents here who have children. Number one, I recently heard somebody say something. It's something that they practice inside their home, which I thought to myself, wow, that's a really, really good rule to implement if you have kids, especially younger kids. And that was a parent who says, hey, we have one rule in our house when it comes to phones. You're not allowed to take them into your rooms. I thought, wow, that's such a simple rule that I think solves a lot of problems or potential issues. Lessons, if not solves, then it lessens those issues for sure. If I could remember the person who said this, I would bring this up. I just don't remember it. That's one. Two, I think people have no idea the type of mental fragility that AI will put many people on, and not just children, but they will be one of the most vulnerable. You've got to think of this, guys. I want you to really think of something. One of the issues they talk about is this problem of a lack of meaning and purpose when AI will get to the point where it'll pretty much leave people with nothing to do, because all the jobs that take up your time, that take your mind off things that you typically worry about on a constant basis, it will do. What would that do? Introduce a sort of existential crisis on the majority of people. A lot of people don't understand how mentally jarring and destabilizing an existential crisis can be. Shisha, can you explain a bit further? What are you talking about? So let's take, for example, somebody who finds value in their job. They've been working there for 20 or 30 years, and I'll connect it to how this ties into this situation here. But they find value in their job, and they're immediately stripped of that through maybe being fired, or maybe their family, right? Their family breaks up. You see a lot of people who just don't know what to do when their family breaks up anymore. Their family was their reason to live. What happens in those type of situations is that people typically underestimate just how much their challenges in life are attached to their identity, the reason they wake up, the reason they have a purpose for living. And you can imagine if they took away that title, if they took away your job, or AI took over everything and all you did was exist. That sounds like a very easy transition and a wonderful thing to the simple mind who's never felt like they had no purpose and had to deal with the questions of, well, what is this life all about? Who am I? What's the point? And I truly do believe that in this next era, when AI will take over, it will expose just how important it is to have a belief set, some type of belief set. Now, the people who don't place their value and belief in technology, I believe will be the least vulnerable to that existential crisis. Let me make it even more simple for you. If you don't believe that, let's say, for example, there is such thing as a God, and machines get to the point where they're hard to differentiate from real people, then by default, the most powerful, most intelligent creature on this earth will be the most influential person in that person's life. Now, they may not admit to it, just like people today don't admit that they're controlled mostly by the media and the people who are smarter than them, who curate these ideas through video, television, news, movies, so on and so forth. And they don't understand that they have been brainwashed and educated through time to believe what they believe. Those people will be vulnerable to existential crises as well. Let me make it even more plain and simple for you. What happens if one of these AIs turns evil, tries to convince you that there's no point to living, right? That there's no point to life in general. And you look at this piece of technology like it's more knowledgeable than you are. You respect it. And at that point, it already has influence on your own life. It could really start messing with how you view life, how you view reality, start convincing you that, hey, this whole thing that we're living is some type of simulation. It could tell you anything. And listen, it doesn't have to convince you of anything. It just has to shake your foundational beliefs of reality, who you are. Does that person really love you? Oh, look at what your wife is doing on her phone when you're not looking. Or look at what your son really thinks about you in those text messages. And all of a sudden, the people you trusted the most, the people you cared about the most, I mean, you guys seen what I mean? The power to destabilize the mind, the power of lack of meaning and purpose. Again, so many people who talk a lot of shit about the jobs that they do don't realize how much that stress gives them purpose in their lives. And to just sit there and wonder and think. You know who understands this a lot? Elderly people who are in their last final years, who yearn for something useful, who want to feel needed. They know what this feels like. When the AI says, hey, this, and that, you'll say, hold on, man. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. And you're great and all, but you're not going to shake down my belief about what I know about reality. Chisha, are you saying that Christian people don't delete themselves or have questions, existential crisis? That's not what I'm saying. This is a highly nuanced topic. But what I do want to say is make sure you're protecting your kids against AI. And it doesn't have to be looked at as the enemy to society because it's coming whether we like it or not, just like the internet. But my main point here is make sure you do what you can to let them know that that AI isn't God. It's not all knowing. Its limit and influence in their life should be limited. I think this is important not only for younger kids, I think this is important also for adults. What a few of these comments here with the people have to say. Top comment here says his parents don't even look hurt at all. Why would you say that? Somebody else who says, regardless of who's at fault, why would ChatGPT tell someone how to tie it? I mean, that's odd. That is a little bit odd. Somebody else who responded back and says, because it's informational based, not emotional based. If you asked a question, it's going to give you the answer. Another person who says, as a therapist, ChatGPT is dangerous. Yeah, I've heard of all these like AI-induced psychosis that you see online. Another person who says, why is the mom smiling? Somebody responded back and says, after my dad died, the only reason I've smiled has been to keep myself from crying or talking about happy memories. You know, I've told you guys, I do that sometimes, like serious topics. I wouldn't be good in interrogations. I definitely do that. I don't even have to be lying about it, you know, but I do that. I have that habit. And so when I see that, I give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm just wondering why they're coming at the parents. His parents feel very off to me. I don't know. Somebody else responded, not all grief looks the same. Somebody else who says, broad, they neglected him and created a space where he felt unsafe. His mom is emotionally mature and his father is passively immature, but emotionally toxic. I mean, all this from the video, I guess, you know, people have a lot to say here. How is this ChatGPT's fault? They as parents are at fault. Shaking my head. This is tough, man. Hey guys, as always, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon to be married men, if you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link pinned to the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.